Joining us today is Eddie Habibi of PAS. He's the CEO and founder, and we're going to be discussing cybersecurity. Welcome, Eddie.
Thank you, Seth. I'm delighted to be here.
Last year seemed to be the economy, seems to be turning around quite well, or has in the last year or so. I'm just wondering, did it work out good for you? It seems that industrially it's been a good economy.
It certainly was a great year for us. It was by far the best year we've ever had. We had significant growth in sales as well as revenue, added over 40 people to the organization, and we're starting the year strong with great backlog and a lot more growth ahead of us this year.
Hopefully a lot of that was in the cybersecurity area.
Absolutely. We see cybersecurity to be the fastest growing area of our business.
You know, one thing that your company's known for has got to do with helping companies manage things like avoid unplanned downtime and things like that. Do you see cybersecurity playing a big role in that, and what are you doing to avoid that, to help with that area?
That's an excellent question, Sid. If you look at cybersecurity as a whole and the consequences of cybersecurity, they are plant operations related. Cybersecurity breaches in themselves are not the end. They are a means to an end, and that end is damage, whether it's damage to equipment, loss of production, or in the worst case scenario, unintended shutdowns that could lead to damage to equipment as well as compromised safety of the personnel. And we have seen that, in fact, in a couple of incidents in recent years. So just to sum that up, the consequences of cyber is plant shutdown and worse, safety breaches.
And how does your solutions help to avoid that?
Short answer is very well, in a unique way. We have a solution called Cyber Integrity that's built on a platform that we have been working on for nearly 17 years that captures the deep configuration of control systems and brings it into a central enterprise level environment for continued management and watch around intrusions as well as unauthorized changes to the actual deep configuration of these control systems. It includes an inventory solution that automatically identifies all the various pieces, both in terms of hardware, operating system, software applications, I/O cards, very deep into the control systems, and provides automatic update of that inventory. So for example, if there's a patch that's issued by a DCS vendor, a control systems vendor, we can very quickly identify where that batch should be applied. That's one of the parts of our solution offering.
And do you see that as a very big opportunity for a lot of companies? Are there a lot of companies that don't have those capabilities today?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, for a lot of manufacturing companies today, capturing that inventory is a huge obstacle. It's a huge challenge in that it takes a lot of effort to pull that together. If you look at a process plant or a power plant, they have hundreds, if not thousands, of control systems, PLCs, and other devices that have to be managed. And these are typically from various vendors. And when you have a set of systems that are coming from different vendors, it becomes more difficult to manage them. Finding a consistent method for capturing the inventory of those systems in a unified fashion, in a consistent way, is a challenge that we solve. In fact, one of our clients, Southern Company, managed to significantly reduce the cost, improve the accuracy, and the ability to repeat that process on an ongoing basis by using our software product.
Well, having an inventory of control systems assets is clearly very important. I see that a lot. What else can companies do to address security?
Good question. What else people can do is put in place automated configuration management of these systems so they can identify changes that have been made to the system to see whether they were authorized or not. Identifying those unauthorized changes is critical to capturing the faults in the system or malware in the system. The next thing is automated procedures that can be put in place, workflow processes to bring about consistency to how these control systems are managed, updated, and modified. Lastly, but probably most importantly, is backup and recovery of the configuration of the automation systems is extremely critical that we encourage our clients to take a serious look at.
Sounds very good. Changing a little bit, just in general, looking towards 2015, you deal with a lot of process manufacturers, power companies. What do you see as the headwinds for them? What was the big challenges for them in 2015?
The big challenges are the challenges that have always been there. It's just the priorities of them might change. At the top of every one of the clients that we work with, safety seems to continue to be the #1 concern. And right along with that is cyber and cybersecurity management. And those two are very much integrated. Those two are very related. I mentioned earlier in the conversation that cyber is really a safety issue that needs to be managed. Those are the two top issues that they're working with that we find to be critical. Of course, as always, reliability is an issue, knowledge retention is an issue, for which we have some solutions, other solutions that we offer.
What about regulations? Do regulations, I know in the power industry, it's an area I cover, it's a very important issue, and I would think that from a compliance and meeting regulations, do you foresee that becoming a bigger issue, or is it a major driver today? Or I know you said safety.
Absolutely. So power is a little bit ahead of the game in that there has been regulation in the U.S. NERC compliance requirements has given momentum to the power companies to put in place programs to deal with their cybersecurity issues. The good news is that processing companies, the likes of Chevron, ExxonMobil, BASF, are not waiting for regulations. They are behaving in the same fashion they did before OSHA regulation 1910-119 came out. They are deploying best practices to deal with the cybersecurity issue long before any regulations are here. So we see a lot of proactive investment by all the majors in dealing with this cybersecurity issue.
Thank you, Eddie.
Well, thank you, Sid. It's been a pleasure.
We've been speaking with Eddie Habibi of PAS. Thank you for watching.